Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Hariyantanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Siddhanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Ayaryanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Uvajjayanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrikavarti Saunam. Om Karambindu Sanyuktam Nityan Dhayanti Yoginam Kamadam Moksadam Chaiva Om Karaya Namo Namah. Namah Samaysaraya Swanubhutya Chakasate Chit Svabhaya Bhavaya Sarva Bhavantarachide Agnanatimirandanam Gnana Anjana Salakaya Chaksurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Tirthankaro Jagatana Jayvantavarto Omkaranada Jinano Jayvantavarto Vinasamo Saranaso Jayvantavarto Nitu Tachara Jagama Jayvantavarto Namo Tirthanayakane Namo Omkaranadane Omkara Sangarutene Namo Te Sri Kunda Kundane Aho Upakara Jinavarano Kundano Dhvani Diva Jina Kunda Dhvaniyapya Aho Te Guru Kanano Aho Te Bhagavati Matano Dhruva Achalane Anupamagati Pamela Sarve Siddhane Vande Kaho Sutta Kevali Bhasita Asamaya Prabhrata Are Mo Eka Suddha Sada Arupi Jnana Darasanamay Khare Kayanyati Maru Jari Paramanu Matra Natiyare Jamanetra Tema Jagyana Nati Karaka Nati Vedaka Are Jane Jakaramoday Nirajara Bandate Majamokshane Om Namah Siddhebhyo Om Namah Siddhebhyo Om Sri Sudatmane Namaha. Jai Jinendra. Today is May 16, 2018, Wednesday, and we are continuing our discussion on stanza 13. And as we said, Samaysar stanza 13 has so much to offer, and it just says to us that one has to know the 9 tattva, 9 reals in their own natural way. What is how those tattvas are formed, how those reals are formed, and we saw it that there is a presence of my mode, that mode which has the eligibility to come at particular time, and also the fruition of karma, presence or absence of karma acting as instrumental cause, combined together makes a tattva, even tattva. Punya, paps, asra, someone, nija, burnt moksh, all those things happen that way. Knowing that one, now that we are somewhat clearer in that one, then Acharya Bhagwan says that your first job is to understand those 9 reals the way they are, how they are formed. And now that we understand how they are formed, then Acharya Bhagwan comes and says, well, throw all this knowledge out of the window now. Wait a second. I mean, I tried so hard to learn all these things, and now you are telling me to throw it out of the window? Yes, why? Because behind those 9 reals, behind those 9 tattva, the eternal soul substance is hidden. So now you have to try to find that hidden substance. Who is that hidden substance? My eternal pure substance. My eternal substance with consciousness, all knower state of that soul substance. Now I have to find that substance. And when I bring the attention to that, then in reality, I have understood all the 9 reals. Simply knowing those 9 reals, simply knowing the names, okay, Astra, there are 5 types of astras are there, 4 types of bondages are there, 57 types of samvara are there, 12 types of austerities are there in the Nijara. all those things that we know, it means nothing. Nothing means they are there, but they are my stepping stone to go towards the eternal soul substance. While we are on that kind of thing, at the same time, Gurudev makes up things like he talks about 5 extraordinary dispositions. What are those things? Let's bring the slides and then we just go through it and explain what Gurudev wants us to know about it. So Gurudev says that now that you have known that 9 reals are there, now he looks at 9 tattva from other angle also. To say what those 9 reals are. He's trying to explain to us from different things. What is the different things? He says that soul's 5 extraordinary disposition, Atmana Panch Asadharan Bhaav. See, this is the beauty, the way Gurudev presents different topics. He just very smoothly inserts into the discussion. So now he taking us to understand what are the 5 extraordinary disposition, what are my inclination, 5 different types of inclinations that soul ends up doing it. So then Gurudev will say, what is my nature, what is not my nature. So now we are going to know. So this is the topic by itself, but that Gurudev has inserted. So we'll just go through it within the time constraint limitation that we will just talk about it. So let me just bring the slideshow here. So soul's 5 extraordinary dispositions, Atmana Panch Bhaav, Panch Asadharan Bhaav. So he's talking to us about those things. So now, what are the dispositions soul ends up making? So now we have to understand the pictorially, and so it says soul's 5 extraordinary dispositions, Atmana Panch Bhaav. Now they are 2 different types. Their dependency on the karma acting as a instrumental cause, means those disposition in relativistic form, means the inclination occurring within me as a soul and has relativistic relationship with a karma, the absence or presence of karma acting as an instrumental cause. So there's a dependency. These are the some of the inclinations are dependency. What are those dependency? Then it says that there's a Audayik Bhaav. Audayik Bhaav means inclination due to fruition of karma. Soul has an inclination which occurs as a result of fruition of karma acting as a relativistic position. So there is a dependency of soul's disposition on having inclination, the fruition of karma acting as instrumental cause. So that's the first bhav. It's called Audayik Bhaav. Audayik means karma has a uday. And because karma has a uday, then the inclination is called Audayik. So nomenclature is very important to follow. We will have to take some Gujarati words in this one, but we will try to explain as much as possible. Karma uday, and because of karma uday means karma fruition, whatever inclination occurs in me is called Audayik Bhaav. That inclination occurring within me because of the fruition of karma, that is called Audayik. Karma uday, and soul has a Audayik. Karma has a uday, soul has Audayik Bhaav. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Next. So then it's second is called. 1 second, hold it. Okay. Next is called Aupshamik Bhaav. Aupshamik means what? karma has a upsham on this side, and now inclination of the soul occurring here is called aupshamik. Upsham, aupshamik, uday, audayik. So those are the things that we have to understand, that one, what it tries to say. 1 second. So karma uday giving audayik inclination. Karma upsham gives aupshamik inclination, means inclination due to suppression of karma. Karma keeps on coming in fruition every moment. Mainly here we are talking about deluding karma, remaining. No other karma can be in suppression form except for deluding karma. So deluding karma keeps on coming in fruition every moment since time infinite in the past. Now, so I have that the fruition of karma occurring right now, but a point comes in which somehow, and somehow in the sense that is with the asterisk right now, somehow those karma fruition gets suppressed. Those karma fruition transiently gets suppressed. And when those karma fruition gets suppressed, the inclination occurring on this side of the soul is called inclination due to suppression of karma. We are coming to that more also. We are just doing definition right now. So next slide we'll be giving you a little bit more explanation. Then kshayopshamik bhav means karma on this side, they have partial suppression, partial annihilation. Partial suppression, partially it's a disintegrated or annihilation. And when that happens in karma, the inclination occurring in the soul is called inclination due to suppression. The means the spelling is mistake. cum, it should be cum. Suppression come annihilation of karma. So karma, kshayopsam of karma, and over here it's called kshayopshamik bhav. First, karma uday on this side, and it's called audayik bhav. Karma upsham on this side, it's called aupshamik bhav. Karma kshayopsham over here, it's called kshayopshamik bhav. So, three things we have talked, and fourth one, kshayik bhav. Karma kshay. Kshay means disintegration or annihilation. Annihilation of the karma over here, and inclination occurring within me because of karma getting annihilated. So, karma kshay, and the soul has a kshayopshamik bhav. So, once again, let's go for it quickly. Karma uday, it gives audayik bhav in the soul. Karma upsham, it gives aupshamik bhav into the soul. Karma kshayopsham, it gives kshayopshamik bhav into the soul. Karma kshay, it gives kshayik bhav to the soul. So basically, four types of inclination occurs in the soul, which are related to the karma, dependency on the karma. So that karma fruition, it's called one kind of inclination. Inclination due to suppression of karma. Second inclination due to suppression come annihilation of karma. And last thing is inclination due to annihilation of karma. This is a little complicated word. We won't touch that one right now too much. But then right now understand there are four types of inclination occurs related to the karma. Because that's a dependency on karma, means it's a relativistic inclinations.
Kirit uncle?
Yes.
Yes, this is great. I always had questions about this, so I'm going to ask away. When we are uday apne krodh kariye, that's inclination.
Yes.
Due to fruition uday of karma.
Krodh karma uday. Krodh,
એટલે ક્રોધ is ઔદયિક ભાવ.
yeah,
તો પછી what's an example of ઔપશમિક ભાવ?
Aupshamik Bhav. Now you have Samyak Darshan right now. But what happened? Very first time you and me or anybody is going to get the Samyak Darshan, it's going to be Aupshamik Samyak Darshan. Aupshamik means on this side, karma got suppressed. And on this side, you end up getting experiencing of the soul or purity of the soul occurred over here. Means the Samyak Darshan occurred for the first time. Very first time Samyak Darshan occurs to anybody, it will be Aupshamik Samyak Darshan because karma get Upsham over here and I have Aupshamik inclination means Aupshamik Samyak Darshan. So this is going to be Aupshamik Samyak Darshan. This is called Kshayopshamik Samyak Darshan and third one is called Kshayik Samyak Darshan. So three lower bullets, they are related to Samyak Darshan and Audayik Bhav occurs to every living being all the way up to 13th Gunsthana.
બરાબર.
Yeah. Or mainly Audayik Bhav goes up to the 12th Gunsthana and 13 and 14 only non-destructive karma comes in fruition and so that also can be said as Audayik Bhav also. So this is Audayik Bhav to all the transmigratory soul all the time. Aupshamik Bhav means Aupshamik Samyak Darshan, Kshapshamik Bhav means Kshapshamik Samyak Darshan, Kshayik Bhav means Kshayik Samyak Darshan. And while Aupshamik Samyak Darshan occurs, means Aupshamik Bhav occurs in the soul. Over here, karma got suppressed. That suppression is transient. Then over here, part of the karma is suppressed, part of the karma is still in fruition. So it's called Kshayopsamik Samyak Darshan. And when all the karma, all the certain types of karma gets disintegrated, then the Samyak Darshan occurs is called Kshayik Samyak Darshan. So these are the four inclinations that dependent on karma, whether karma are present or absent or suppressed or partially suppressed or completely annihilated. There's relationship to the karma. Over here, the fruition is there. Over here, transient suppression is there. Second, in the Aupshamik Bhav. And Kshapshamik Bhav, there is a suppression, annihilation of karma is there. And in Kshayik Bhav, there is an annihilation of karma is there. So there is karma, dependency on karma's presence and or absent. So it's a relativistic. It's called Sapex. Sapex means related to someone, related to karma, presence or absence, acting as an instrumental cause. So their dependency is there. So four kind of inclinations are dependency on the karma, and a fifth one is independent of any, when we say karma, means any material, any substance. So this inclination occurs independent of anything touching the soul. So soul does non-relativistic inclination by itself. What is that thing? It's called Paramparinamic Bhav or soul's innate state. For Siddha Bhagwan, for example, there is no dependency on karma. They are independent, and so Siddha Bhagwan's soul has a Paramparinamic Bhav. I have it, you have it, Nigot Jeev has it, bacteria, 1 sense, 2 sense, 3. Every transmigratory cell has an innate state of the soul. Innate state is independent of anything else. So my innate state is independent. So that is called Paramparinamic Bhav. Means anything is independent is called Paramparinamic Bhav. And I know right away quite a few questions are arising in your mind, and I know what are those questions. And we will try to cover those things. But if there is any questions, throw in this thing, because these are the Actually, Gurudeva started in a very subtle way. The new topic for us he started, and so we just have to go through those things. So it just says to
So,
us, yes,
I have a question. Normally, we talk about karma no uday, the fruition, and karma dormancy.
yeah,
And it's satama.
Sattva.
Satama.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what is this karma suppression?
It's called karmano upsham.
હા, પણ ઈ ઉપશમ કેવી રીતે? ઈ કર્મની વિચિત્રતા છે ને કઈ આગળ સમજવા જેવું છે?
Yes, see, I knew this was the question coming. I knew that. What's happening? That remember, let's take Marichi right now. Marichi is over here, and let's take all the time frame out and let's put Mahavir over here next. Marichi has a totally wrong concept. He is in a mithyatva. And suddenly, when he is into, and that Marichi in front of our grandfather, who is a first Tirthankar, and everybody is taking Diksha and everything, and everybody is interested in Rishabdev, and this guy has totally wrong idea. Even in presence of Bhagwan, he had a wrong ideas, and so he has a wrong belief. So he's in a deep wrong belief state, deep mithyatva state. Now we take him to the lion, and in lion, he's in jungle. There is nobody there, and suddenly two monks passing through the sky, and they said, wait a second, this is future Mahavir is sitting and he's eating meat with the deer's meat. So they descend and they give the discourses in a lion's language, and lion ends up getting Samyak Darshan. One, he did not get it when Rishabdev was there, and he gets it into the jungle when nothing is around. So that was his mode was coming that way. We talked about soul's mode in the form of Mahavir. But remember, mode occurs to all the substances all the time, continuously. In the soul, matter, medium motion, medium rest, space and time, every substance, they have mode of their own. So karma being matter substance, they have their mode of their own also. So they have also krambat parya, means a mode coming in the sequential order. In the matter also it happens the same way. When it happens, the mode coming in sequential order in me, same way it happens in the matter substance, and so it happens in the karma also. So that particular time, that karma was supposed to be not in fruition state. It was supposed to remain suppressed. So it happened because of karma's own doing. That was his own mode coming in that form. And that's why the suppression of those karma fruition occurred at the time. Because it's an independent action from karma perspective. Nobody did anything. It was supposed to have karma happening, and on the same time, on the soul side, me, I am supposed to have Samyak Darshan, means I'm supposed to have my faith attributes mode from alien object was supposed to go within me. So my faith attributes mode gets directed to me, means I'm experiencing my soul, my experience, my eternal substance. That means I'm experiencing supersensuous bliss. Same time when the soul's actions are occurring, in the karma also, it was supposed to have suppression of karma fruition occurring that time. Both the things happen independently. But because they are occurring together, that means this event, we are saying it's a dependency on the karma. Now, you are going to argue right now, and there's a question arising in your mind. Wait a second. How come there's dependency when the soul by itself brought the mode of the faith attribute to the eternal soul substance. So why there is dependency? There is no dependency, but both the things occurring so fast together so much that we say that quote unquote there is dependency when we look from modal aspect. When we look from substantial aspect, then the mode of the Samyak Darshan occurred within me with my own independence of that mode. But at the same time, karma also the same thing, and they both occur at the same. Remember that the fountain we talked about? The fountain is a water, colorless water is there, and the lights are shining, but lights are shining to the sky. Nothing is happening. At that time, that water had eligibility to be the color form, and that mode of that water comes out, and that light acts as instrumental cause, and with the light being instrumental cause, the color is perceived in that water molecule. It lasted. That relationship, nimit namidik sambandh, means principal cause, auxiliary cause relationship, remain for that particular moment, and that part of the water molecule were seen in the form of color. And next moment, the water falls into the pond and light remains by itself, and so there is no nimit namidik sambandh, and so there is no colorful water seen. So from one side, if we see the mode is occurring with my own doing, but when I'm looking from the other side, the karma fruition in the form of karma's presence or absence or suppression or whatever, that is also acting as instrumental cause. So the action is occurring because of those two things. That's what we learn in the 13th stanza so far, that action is seen, perceived, because two things are merging together: eligibility of the soul and the karma fruition occurring as a doer, and eligibility and doing combined together produces the expressible mode. So same way here, suppression occurred of the karma by itself, and opshamic bhav occurred by myself, but that at that time there was a principal cause, auxiliary cause relationship, so we said it's a dependency on karma. So perspective, what perspective we are using in this sentence, that we have to be aware of it. So in this graph, we are trying to see that is there relationship to any karma? Yes, these four guys have relationship. The innate state of the soul has independence of any substance of the universe. In the Nigod also, there is an innate state of the soul present. In Siddha Bhagwan also, innate state of the soul present, and in between every transmigratory soul, the innate state is present. No relationship to anything else at all. So that's what these five bhavs are occurring, five inclinations are occurring, five states are occurring, and that's called soul's five extraordinary disposition. Any questions so far? Because now I'm going to bring each one to explain a little bit more in detail, but this introductory slide, does it make sense, and does it have any questions? Actually, this is a topic of its own, and we are just inserting because Gurudev has mentioned those things. So we just take the liberty also to go through it to understand that one, because that's what it is that, slowly and steadily we are getting from different aspects. We are trying to learn the nature of the soul. There are no, if there's question, I can wait. If there's no, or if we have to come back again, we'll come back. Don't worry about it. So now I'm trying to bring pictorially how these situations are occurring. So let's see. We know the soul and matter relationship very well. We have gone through it in the past before, that soul as a substance and has a mode. It could be in the innate state or in deluding state. When it's a deluding state mode, then on the other side there's a fruition of karma is present, and with deluding state new karma bondage occurs, and this cycle keeps on going and going and going since time infinite in the wrong faith soul. So this is going on in all the transmigratory souls all the time. So this is the relationship between the soul and karma. Now in this picture, if you look at it, these two guys, they have no brain of their own. Only this guy has a brain, so he, with his own doing, decided to go in the deluding state rather than innate state. And when he went to deluding state, then this kind of a transmigratory circle, transmigratory state occurred over here. Now, what happens here? So this one has a consciousness, and non-living matter substance has no consciousness. So only the thing in the whole picture, if I have to deal with this diagram and try to break this inflammatory red cycle, how can I do it? Because these two guys, they have no brain, so I can't give any instruction to them. Only the guy I can talk to that, hey, you know, your consciousness, you are a wise guy. You understand what is right for you to do, what is not right for you to do. So don't go in deluding state, stay in the innate state. So I can talk to the soul substance and explain to him, for example. So here, knowing this one, now let's say the same figure over here. What's happening here? That now fruition of karma and deluding state, fruition of karma and deluding, they both have principal cause, auxiliary cause relationship. Means this is called Audayik Bhaav. Audayik Bhaav means karma is in the form of Uday over here, and the soul is in Audayik Bhaav. Karma is in the form of fruition, and the soul has an inclination born as a result of fruition of karma. So this is my Audayik Bhaav. Karma is in Uday over here, and whatever state occurred to me, that is called Audayik Bhaav. Karma in Uday and inclination is called Audayik Bhaav. Karma is in fruition, and inclination is called inclination due to fruition. So now it tells us that, you know, they have the deluding state and fruition of karma. They both have principal cause, auxiliary cause relationship, but because those things are happening together, that's why this state we call is an Audayik Bhaav, or is called inclination born as a result of fruition of karma. Having made that thing clear, now let's try to go through the other one. Now remember, in this picture, one more thing we have to notice, because that the same picture will come with slightly different thing. Over here, soul had a choice to be in an innate state or in the deluding state, and by the soul's own doing went in deluding state. So this is important that soul went in deluding state over here instead of remaining in the innate state. Next picture, it says soul became wise and says, I don't want to go in the deluding state. This is my true nature. Why should I fool around in the deluding state? So that we took the pencil and we erased that idea of deluding state from us. Who did that? I did that. Because these two guys have no brain. So once this thing go out, deluding state is not present, then this whole transmigratory circle has no support remaining, and it becomes weak, and ultimately it is going to disappear. So now, what did I do? I went into my innate state. I went into, which is going to innate state is called Samyak Darshan. Remaining in the deluding state is mainly it's called wrong faith. Going to innate state is called right faith. So deluding state is a wrong faith. This is to stay in the innate state is a right faith. So this right faith occurred right now. Samyak darshan occurred. That means I'm on fourth spiritual development state from first spiritual development state. From first Gunsthanak, now I came to fourth Gunsthanak. When I was in this in deluding state, I was in the first Gunsthanak. Now I came to innate state. That's a fourth Gunsthanak. Now, these are general things. When I say general, means even in the Samyak Darshan state also there is part of the Rag and Dvesha remaining, but we make them as a secondary right now. So, main thing happened that I went in an innate state, means I came to the fourth Gunsthanak. I came to the experiencing of the soul. I came to the self-realization. Now what happened? What kind of inclination do I tell this one? So, these two guys means not to have fruition of karma. Remember, we just said fruition, but fruition or not to have fruition, both can act as an instrument to cause. Not to have fruition of karma and to go into the innate state, and that is called Aupshamik Bhaav, means inclination due to suppression of karma. Over here, karma got suppressed. Each karma from this is called dormancy. He's a new karma bondage, goes in dormancy, and then ultimately when time comes, it becomes fruition of karma. But karma decided themselves not to be in fruition, means partially they got suppressed. They got suppressed at that moment. When they got suppressed, soul also at the same time independently went in the innate state. And so over here I'm seeing karma getting suppressed and I'm getting innate state. So that's called Aupshamik Bhaav, means inclination due to suppression of karma, or it's called Aupshamik Samyak Darshan. So Aupshamik Samyak Darshan occurs within me with my own doing. But at the same time, fruition of karma is suppressed at that time, the transient time. You can't keep on suppressing forever. It remains maximum suppression less than 48 minutes. In general, that suppression remains very, very, very minimal amount of time, between 1 samay and 48 minutes minus 1 samay, means actually it's very narrow time, So that suppression remains. And at that time, I get experiencing of my soul. I experience my super sensuous bliss, and I said, oh my God, I had never ever experienced this week, and now I'm experiencing my soul and I'm getting super sensuous bliss. That may remain transiently, but it is still called Samyak Darshan. And once that experiencing occurs, within no time, this soul will get liberated. It takes 1 life, 3 life, 5 lives, or 15 life, and then that soul will be liberated. And so that means you are in the transmigratory ocean. You are swimming, 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 and now you are coming almost to the shore. Almost. You put your foot onto the shore, and then a big wave came and pulled you back again. But you know that now I can put my foot on the shore. That is this state. This is that state. And so it's called Aupshamik Bhaav, or it's called Aupshamik Samyak Darshan. Now, next thing happens. Two things are happening. Next thing is a Kshayit Bhaav, means inclination due to annihilation of karma. In the Aupshamik Bhaav, karma was transiently suppressed, means there was not in fruition for that transient time. Here in a Kshayik Bhaav, annihilation of karma state, means karma got totally eradicated for those particular type of karma. Anantanambandhi, Krodh, Man, Maya, Lobh, and Darshan Monia. So those guys, they're the 7 karma out of 148 types of karma. 7 types of karma are totally annihilated, totally destroyed, totally gone by themselves. And at that time, inclination occurring within me is I'm in innate state, but now in the in Aupshamik Bhav, I was transiently in the innate state. Over here, I'm going to be there forever in the innate state. Difference between these two Samyak Darshan, Aupshamik Samyak Darshan, Kshayik Samyak Darshan, or Aupshamik Bhav, Kshayik Bhav, or inclination due to suppression of karma and inclination due to annihilation of karma. Two things, if we just can think about it, that I have a filtered water or distilled water, let's put it that way, in a glass. That glass has no impurity of any kind at all. It's a pure water. No. So all the impurities are removed. Impurities are annihilated. Impurities are destroyed. And this is a pure water present. And that is called Kshayik Bhav. Means I have purity, total purity within me. On this side, Aupshamik Bhav, I have a dirty water in the glass and I want to drink water, but I don't want to drink dirty water. So what I use alum. Alum is called fatakdi or alum. And when I put alum, all the dirt gets set down on the bottom, and on the top there is a pure water there, which is drinkable pure water. Over here, this was pure water, but the pure water has no impurities at all. They were removed. And over here, the pure water is there, but impurities are still sitting there, but they're suppressed. They're suppressed with this alum. So pure water is on both the sides, means there is a purity is perceived on both the sides. One is transiently, in the sense that glass with the suppression of the garbage, if I move that glass, again those things will come up and make the water dirty. But as long as that alum is there, again the dirt will settle down in the bottom of the glass. And so the top will have a pure water. This guy, Kshayik Bhav, is a pure water with no impurity of any kind at all. Both have purity, but one is a transient purity, other one is permanent purity. So both are over here with the innate state. This is the first time it happens to me. This is the Aupshamik Bhav, Aupshamik Samyak Darshan. And this happens with my own personal effort, and ultimately it will remain with me forever. So, Siddha Bhagwan has Kshayik Bhav. Siddha Bhagwan is having it's an innate state forever. It's a pure state forever. First time Samyak Darshan occurring, it is occurring transiently, and it will be called Aupshamik Bhav. Transient time, I'm in the innate state. I experience the supersensuous bliss, and then again karma fruition, which was suppressed, comes into fruition again, and at that time I will go back into the deluding type of state.
Your uncle?
Yes.
I think we kind of covered this the last 2 or 3 times we did Gunstan. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. But because if we are talking from this Bhav perspective, that what are those Bhav and how are they related, that's what we are just hammering that one over here, you know. So now coming to the third one, the complete suppression, the complete removal, and there is also partial suppression, partial annihilation of the karma. Partial suppression, partial annihilation of karma, and at that time also I can be going into the innate state and experience myself. So that is called Kshayopshamik Bhav. Karma is in Kshayopsham. Karma in the Kshayik Bhav, karma is in Kshay state. In Aupshamik Bhav, karma is in Upsham. So these 3 guys, they occur in the form of karma and also in the form of soul state, and the names are given accordingly. So these are the three guys occurring with the relationship to absence of fruition of karma or partial rise of fruition of karma. The previous slide was fruition of karma and soul's inclination. So four things are there, and now this is Paramparnamic Bhaav we are talking about. Paramparnamic Bhaav means now I am in my innate state and I am involved with my innate state. I have no relationship with anybody else, and that's why it's called Parinamic Bhaav. Souls remain in its own natural state without any dependency on any karma. So these are the five inclinations that is been mentioned, and karma fruition. Remember the now tattva that we talked about, 9 reals we talked about. We always talked in relation to the karma fruition and or absence of fruition. So now these 5 inclinations we talked about, 5 attitudes of the soul we talked about. 4 are dependent on karma fruition and or absence of fruition, and the 5th one is the innate state with no relativistic relationship with any karma at all. So in the 9 reals chapter, Gurudev smartly and nicely introduced this kind of a concept to us, which we already knew it from before. So now 2 together, everything is occurring, and now we have better idea how to apply those knowledge that we have it. Any questions so far? What is next one coming? Oh yes, the same thing coming, a little bit different perspective. But let's just start looking at the other one, and then we can just open the for questions. Sorry. Okay, so Aupshamik Bhaav. What happens in Aupshamik Bhaav? Basically, it says that disposition of the soul keeping in relation to the suppression of the karma fruition is known as Aupshamik Bhaav. We already talked that a karma gets suppressed with soul's self-effort, means Purusharth as instrumental cause. Non-living material karma do not come in fruition, and that's called karma upsham. So karma upsham, and this is called Aupshamik Bhaav. Now what happens over here? This is karma are in suppression phase by themselves, known as karma upsham. So karma are in a suppression stage by themselves. By soul is in a innate state by themselves, and because they have a principal cause auxiliary cause relationship, so they are called dependency on karma. So that's the first kind of inclination we talked about. Next one, let me put this guy. Next one is Kshayik Bhaav. Kshayik means destructional in disposition or disposition produced due to annihilation or destruction of karma. Karma got annihilated or destroyed, and that at the same time soul has some kind of inclination that's called Kshayik Bhaav. Supreme sort of spiritual purification that comes about as result of complete dissociation from karma. Means karma are dissociated, and over here I have the purity occurring within me. Soul's pure nature associated with the total annihilation of material karma is known as Kshayik Bhaav. Soul's personal effort, Purusharth, as instrumental cause, the obstruction producing material karma getting annihilated, and that is known as Karma Kshay. So karma getting removed on this side, and I have pure inclination occurring within me. So karma are absent in this phase, that's known as Karma Kshay. Absence of karma fruition, that's called Karma Kshay. Then third one, Kshayopshamik Bhaav, means part of the karma comes in fruition, part of the karma is suppressed and everything. So disposition of destruction comes subsidence. Disposition due to destruction comes subsidence of karma. Part of the karma are suppressed, part of the karma is coming in fruition, part of the karma's intensity is reduced, and those are the things called Kshayopshamik Bhaav. And as I said, we won't go into too much detail. I think we have done.
I'm sorry, Kirit uncle. You just said in Shayab Shamik Bhaav,
Mhm.
fruition થાય છે.
Yeah,
I'm misunderstanding. Shayab Shamma annihilation અને suppression જ થાય છે. Fruition નથી થતું.
fruition is action.
અચ્છા.
Now, because that word is not in this word in the Kshayapshamik word is fruition. Uday is not mentioned, but Uday. So three activities occur in Kshayapshamik Bhaav: Uday, Upsham, and Kshay. Three things happens in Kshayapshamik Bhaav. Three things in the Karma Kshayapsham. Karma Kshayapsham. Three things happens: Uday, Upsham, and Kshay. Three things are happen.
I'm going to ask you for an example again if you can.
Yeah. So fruition, fruition, suppression, and annihilation. Three activities are occurring in karma kshayapsham. Now, how the fruition? Now, first the annihilation. Annihilation means there is an intense form of karma. They're supposed to come in extreme intensity, let's say 100% intensity, they are coming in fruition. Instead of that, that karma coming in fruition with less force. Let's say 40% intensity they are coming with. So what happened? It was supposed to come as 100% intensity in the form of fruition. Instead of that, it came with a 40% fruition only. Means 60% got annihilated. Annihilation, kshay. 40% is fruition. And at the same time, the karma which is sitting in dormancy, they remain in dormancy, they did not come in fruition. So they remain suppressed. So suppression, fruition, and annihilation. Annihilation, intensity got annihilated, milder form got fruition, and karma which are in the dormancy did not come in picture at all. So they remain suppressed. So three activities are happening in karma kshayapsham. Once again, let's say that I'm supposed to get a intense knowledge obscuring karma fruition right now. Intense, that I don't have any knowledge occurring at all within me. Instead of that, the karma get transformed in such a way that intensity got decreased from 100 to 40%, for example, so that 60% did not come in fruition. That means it got annihilated. Kshay thai gaya eno. 40% which came in fruition, that means a uday for that. And remaining karma which are in dormancy, they remain in dormancy, did not come in fruition, means they were suppressed. So three things happen in Kshayapsham Bhaav. Does it make sense?
બરાબર.
Okay. Now, when that thing happens in karma, then what happens to me? Means I have the short of spiritual purification comes as a result of destruction through nominal manifestation of part of some karma. See, destruction through nominal manifestation. Instead of intense manifestation, only nominal manifestation occurred. That means those things which did not, the intensity which decreased, means it got disintegrated. So disintegration of fruition of intense destructive karma is kshay. Karma which are to be coming in fruition in future are at present in dormancy, and that's why it's called upsham. And less intense destructive karma coming in fruition means uday. So three things are happening here. So that's what we talked about, that the three things are happening. The intensity comes less. So disintegration of the intensive destructive karma is kshay. Karma which are to be coming in fruition at present are in dormancy. That means it is the upsham. and destructive fruition is occurring, which is less intense coming. That's what fruition. So Kshay, Upsham, and Uday. All three are happening, and that's called Ksha, Upsham, and Bhaav. This is actually really out of all the five bhavs of the soul, Ksha Bhav takes the longest for one to understand and everything. But at least we have gone through this before. Now we are just getting revision, and so we know what has happened. Does it make sense now? Okay. Then some karma are in separation, some are in fruition, some are in dormancy. This is karma perspective. And this is occurring from the soul's perspective. And what happens in between, that's what it says over here. So that's what is happening. Now the remaining two, Audayic Bhav. What happens in Audayic Bhav? Soul's inclination born as a result of manifestations of karma, sort of spiritual blemish or pollution that comes about at the time of effective manifestation of karma. Karma are manifesting, and the soul has a pollution in its inclination. So that's Audayic Bhav. Soul has an altered disposition, means Vikari Bhav. This altered disposition occurs due to relationship with fruition of material karma, and karma are in fruition state known as karma upsham. And the last one is Param Parnamic Bhav. Parnamic, soul's inherent nature, natural activity of the soul. For every substance has its own eternal state, which is without any alien attachment, and that it is its Parnamic Bhav. Parnamic Bhav means no relationship with karma fruition, no relationship with karma suppression, or partly suppression, partly destruction. Those kind of karma, they don't do anything to the soul's Parnamic Bhav. This is nirpeksh, means independent, it's non-relativistic. Soul's disposition, which does not keep any expectation from material karma suppression or annihilation comes subsidence or fruition of karma in Parnamic Bhav. So in nothing which related to the karma, nothing, all the previous four things we described, they don't affect the soul's innate nature. One which has eternal existence is known as Parnamic Bhav. Conscious nature of the soul has all its divisions hidden within its soul as soul's Parnamic Bhav. So this is the crux that we have to understand, that conscious nature of the soul has all its divisions hidden within its soul, within is known as soul's Parnamic Bhav. Means when we just learned about 9 tattva right now, we talk about 9 reals right now, we learned about 9 elements right now. Now we understood how those 9 elements are expressed in their form and everything. Once we understood that part, then it's just, Acharya Bhagwan says, okay, now you understand 9 reals, how they are generated. Now look deeper, look within very carefully, and there is an eternal soul substance is hiding within those 9 tattva, and that is called soul's Parnamic Bhav. Cognitive or omniscient knowledge, etc., are the modes and are not Parnamic Bhav. So Matignan, Suttagnan, Avadhignan, Manaparyagnan, Kevalgnan, they all are modes. They are form of the 9 reals. 9 reals are modes. Now tattva are modes. Within those 9 tattva, in a right way, once we understand, then one can go and try to look for that hidden soul substance within. For example, gold is mixed with the dirt, and now I'm passing the gold through the fire, and different colors are seen coming out of the fire because mixture of a different substances are there with the gold. So different colors are seen, and gradually as purity occurs, those different colors starts going away, and ultimately pure gold is there, and only one color will be seen emitting from the pure gold only. So even in that mixture of that gold with the dust, the gold was hiding within. I just have to look carefully to look for that gold in the 9 reals, 9 elements, 9 tattva, 9 modes of the soul. I have to go within. I have to put my personal effort, and through the maze of those 9 elements, I have to try to find out the real, eternal, pure, all-over soul substance hiding there. That is my job. That is my personal effort. That's my purusha. That's an act I have to do it to get Samyak Darshan. No relationship with this nature of the soul with any karma state. Natural state of the soul is independent and is non-relativistic. It is called nirapeks. All the above 4 inclinations are called sapeksh. Parinamic bhav is called nirapeks, independent, non-relativistic. So this is the way all 5 inclinations are there. Within those 5 inclinations, 4 are related to the karma fruition, 4 are related with those 9 elements, 9 tattva, 9 reals, and from that one, I have to find the 5th one, which is Parinamic Bhava, which is the eternal soul substance hidden within. I have to try to look for it. That's what it's trying to tell us over here. And let's see, before I go to the next slide. Okay, then what is coming here? Okay. So now, again, it just quickly revises all the things. Soul inclination, Atmana Bhav, and whether they are relativistic or non-relativistic, we already talked about, so it's quick revision right now. What it says, that Aupshamik Bhav, soul spiritual purification that comes about as a result of complete cessation of manifestation of some karma which is yet in existence, which is the suppression of karma. Suppression of karma means that bhav, inclination, it's a sapex, means it's relativistic, depending on karma, it's karma's presence or absence. Kshayik bhav means destructional disposition or annihilation disposition produced due to annihilation, destruction of karma. Supreme sort of spiritual purification that comes about as a result of complete dissociation from karma, and they are also sapex, means relativistic, means depending on karma and the karma's presence or absence. The third one, Kshayopshamik bhav, disposition of destruction comes subsidence. Disposition due to destruction comes subsidence of karma, and they are also sapex, relativistic, dependent on karma and karma presence or absence. And last one is Audaik Bhav. Definitely it's related to the karma because karma's presence is there, and that is also, it is called sapex because it's a relativistic in nature. And the last one, Parinamic Bhav, which is called nirpex, means non-relativistic, independent of karma's presence or absence. So this is basically, in nutshell, we learn about 5 kind of activities soul can perform, 5 types of inclination can occur in the soul, and how they are related to the 9 reals. First 4 are relativistic, so they are related to the 9 reals, and last one is hidden within those all these guys, and I have to try to find that guy out. And once I find it out, that is my Samyak Darshan. So that's why in the 13th stanza he says, Bhutartha thi jane la jiva ajiva vali punya papane asara samvarne jara bandhamoksha te samyak tvache. When I know these 9 reals from right perspective, from pure point of view, means number one, I know in the mode how they are coming. Knowing that how they are coming in mode, now I make the modal state secondary and go to the bull's eye, which is a parinamic bhav, and I try to go for it. I bring my faith and bring my faith more towards the eternal pure nature of the soul. And that's where Samyak Darshan Samyak Darshan rises. And that's the most important event is going to happen in our life. So that's where we have just understood all this five inclinations occurring in the soul. And if there's any question right now, let's pause for a second before we start with something else, what next is happening. You know? Any questions so far?
I guess I just wanted like a real world example of the Upshamik Samyak Darshan, Kshaik Samyak Darshan, and Kshayopshamik Samyak Darshan. Like Srimad Rajchandra had Kshayopshamik, Evidna Che example.
Okay, all right. Now, the very first time, once we understood what is Aupshamik Samyak Darshan, what is Kshayopshamik Samyak Darshan, what is Kshayik Samyak Darshan, all those three words we are talking in relationship to the karma's fruition, present and or absent, or partially present, partially absent, whatever that thing. So we take the karma's we talk from relativistic point of karma. We have to understand that part. But once we understand how Kshayik Samyak Darshan occurs within me, how Kshayopshamik Samyak Darshan occurs within me, how Aupshamik Samyak Darshan occurs within me, then it's all my personal effort. Number one, do I understand the reality? Do I understand the soul from complete organ of knowledge? Comprehensive point of view, do I know the soul's nature? Do I know the substance? Do I know attributes? Do I know different attributes? Do I know the modes and everything? Do I know the independence of all substance and substance, attribute and modes and everything? Knowing all these things completely to start with. Those are my reflective thought process, means I am in a vikalp avastha. Reflective thought process, I made all these decisions so far. Now that I know that my real nature is me, hidden within me. Now understanding that part, I make the modal state secondary, division of the attribute secondary, and I make the eternal soul substances primary. And now I have my narrow focus. As we have said about that Arjun story, that when a Dron Guru, that the Guru's name is Dron, and he is teaching how to just use the bow and arrow, and he taught everybody. So he's taking exam, and when Duryodhan comes, and Dron says, okay, there's a bird, toy bird on the tree, and I want you to throw your arrow, and it should go through the eye of the bird. And then what do you see right now? He said, well, I see the sky, the blue sky, these and that. And then Dron says, no, you failed. So everybody fails that way. When Arjun comes and Arjun says, I see only right eye of that toy bird. Do you see anything else? No. Do you see the tree? No. Do you see this? Do you see that? That means he had narrowed down his vision so much to the aim. Similarly, knowing the complete structure of the soul, function of the soul and everything, now I have to concentrate on the bull's eye, which is my eternal soul substance. Once I put my effort there, and my mode now gets directed away from the alien object, and faith mode is coming to the eternal soul substance the very first time it happens, then over here karma goes in suppression state. That's called Aupshamik Samyak Darshan occurred within me, because karma also became suppressed over here by themselves. And once I have that Samyak Darshan, Once I experience my soul, then I make my own personal effort to get engrossed within me. And that increasing in the purity state and increasing of my personal effort, that will take me to Kshayopshamik Samyak Darshan and or Kshayik Samyak Darshan. So Samyak Darshan is an experiencing of the soul, experience of the soul and experiencing supersensuous bliss. So that Samyak Darshan, whether it's a Aupshamik or Kshapshamik or Kshayik, experience is the same. Same experience that Siddha Bhagwan is getting right now. Siddha Bhagwan is getting the experiencing of the soul, and I'm also experiencing of the soul. So it's the same experience, but Siddha Bhagwan has forever, and I may have transiently or a little bit longer or whatever. So for example, hold on to your thought. For example, a blind man is eating the sugar, and the guy with the two eyes is eating the sugar. What's the difference between the taste between those two guys? They have the same taste, except that the guy with the two eyes, he can see and perceive the sugar, and only blind guy is experiencing the taste of the sugar. So that's a difference between the Samyak Darshan and Keval Gnan. Keval Gnan, yeah. So this is the difference. Otherwise, it is experience is same. So now that Samyak Darshan we are dividing in three parts because we are bringing karma in the picture and giving those three names because of karma's presence and or absence and whatever. So we are talking relativistic point. That's why we give three names. Otherwise, my personal effort, I experience my soul, my Samyak Darshan. Period. That's it. I don't know whether it answers your questions or not.
Yeah, I was confused. So, okay, so what I understand is the first time a Jeev, the very first time gets Samyak Darshan, it's always Upsham Samyak Darshan.
Yes.
And then that Jeev later on in its life cycle can get either Shayik or Kshayopshamik Samyak Darshan.
Means his purity keeps on increasing. His personal effort keeps on increasing.
So I said that correctly? The first time is for everybody is always Upsham Samyak Darshan?
Yeah, yes. Aupshamik Samyak Darshan, yes. Means remember, I experienced myself at that time. That's it. That's it. So now what name you want to give, depending on what karma did on the other side. So you can give different names, whatever names you want to give, but ultimately I experience myself. That's it. What difference does it make what kind of cell phone you are using? As long as your cell phone and with the smartphone you have it, whether it's a iPhone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, God knows whatever, or whether it's a Android. So it doesn't make, you have that phone in, you are enjoying, quote unquote, enjoying that presence of the phone. What kind, what type, it depends on what manufacturer and everything. So same way, you are giving Aupshamik, Kshayik or Kshapsham, depending on a karma state at that time. But experiencing is experiencing, that does not change. It is the same experience in all three Samyak Darshan and also into the Siddha Bhagwan and Aryan Bhagwan also same experience. Same thing with the sixth and seventh Gunstana, sixth and seventh Gunstana monks also. And anybody, I mean, a fourth Gunstanak also same way. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and all the way to Aryan Bhagwan and Siddha Bhagwan, the experiencing is the same. Samyak Darshan means experiencing supersensuous bliss. So different names you give because of karma's presence or partial presence or partial separation or complete separation or complete elimination. But that's karma perspective. So you give different names, that's all. Does that make sense? Okay. So now we just go. When a specific act occurs in the mode, then there is relativistic relationship occurs with the karma in the form of presence or absence. Now we know that part very well, so we don't have to go too much detail about it. One brings his attention to the eternal true nature of the indivisible soul substance, which is having non-relativistic nature. means Paramparnami Bhaav. Then one obtains Samyak Darshan. So first I understand my 9 modes. They are in the modal state, and modal state, that means their relativistic relationship with the karma's presence or absence. But then my attention is taken. So this is my preparation. This is the preparation I make it, understanding myself. Once I understand myself, then I bring my attention to the indivisible soul substance. That's called parinamic bhav. Bringing attention to the eternal soul substance is called parinamic bhav. Non-reals are in the form of specific divisions. That means reflective thought, and that means conventional point of view. So now 9 reals I understood so perfectly. But they are divisional modes. They are in divisions. Means this is called Punya Tattva, this is called Pap Tattva, this is called Astra Tattva, this is called Ban Tattva, this is called Samvat Tattva, Anija Tattva. Means they are divisional aspects are perceived. And when there is divisional aspect, means in Jain philosophy, divisional aspect, attention on the division, attention on the mode, means it's called reflective thoughts. Vikalp Dasha. When I'm looking at the division, I'm looking at mode, then it's called reflective thought, it's called Vikalp, and that means it's conventional point of view. Nirvikalp Dasha is called absolute point. This is a reflective thoughts is called conventional point of view. Eternal true nature of the self is non-specific. It is in a non-specific divisional indivisible form. Means the eternal soul is indivisible. Means no divisions are perceived, and that means it's a subject of absolute point of view. Modal state, conventional point of view. The substantial state, absolute point of view. In the right faith state, one ends up knowing as well as having conviction of the eternal true nature of the soul. In the right faith, fourth spiritual development state, or when I bring my faith mode to the eternal soul substance, then I end up knowing, and I also have the conviction of the eternal soul. What is conviction means? Do I have conviction right now that I am Kirit at this moment, even though I'm talking? Yes, I on the back of my mind, I have conviction. Who am I? Even I'm in deep sleep, somebody says Kirit, and I will wake up because my conviction is there that I am Kirit. Similarly, when in the right faith state, when I experience my eternal soul substance, then I also get the conviction about my true nature of the self. And so after fourth Gunsthana, after fourth spiritual development state, even though I could be in the rag state, I could be in the inclination of attachment and aversion, I could be a universal monarch like Bharat, and I could be also going to the war and everything. And at that time also, Bharat knows that he has a conviction about himself as a true state. He knows that he is an eternal soul substance, is his true state. And whatever modal actions are occurring, that he is no part of it. It is only his weakness that he cannot remain engrossed in his eternal soul. So there is a conviction as well as knowledge of the eternal soul. All known soul substance does not come in the mode. Now, what does it mean? Let me bring this one. Soul substance modes are technically separate, even though they both occupy the same space point as modes of division. Substance is indivisible. So what happens here? All knower soul substance does not come in the mode. Remember, it's in the 6th and 7th stanza we talked about. Gurudev explained to us that in the mode, only reflection of that peacock occurs. On the mirror, only reflection or illumination of the peacock occurs. Peacock does not enter into the mirror. Same way, my knowledge mode has a self an alien of a knowing capacity. So if this alien substance like this phone is getting illuminated in my knowledge mode, phone did not come in knowledge mode. Similarly, my eternal soul substance over here also, it gets illuminated in my knowledge mode. Eternal soul substance remains over here, only illumination is there in the mode. So soul substance and modes are technically separate, even though they both occupy same space point. We are trying to make division in the indivisible soul and soul substance attributed mode. By divisional aspect, we try to understand what is happening in reality. So soul and soul as a substance and modes are occupying same space point, but they're still entirely separate. Modes have divisions and substance is indivisible form. So they remain separate. So all knower soul substance does not come in the mode. Now here a heading says that how are the division of nine reals are created. We already know that part. Living being takes away his attention from the eternal nature of the self. Then faith is directed to the modal aspect of the soul. Now divisions of nine reals are created. Then fruition of the material karma acts as instrumental cause, and one now ends up with the nine elements. So how nine elements are created? Because I have my faith mode is directed to the alien objects or to the modal state. So faith is directed to the modal state, or it's called alien object directed faith. Divisions are created. Karma acts as instrumental cause, and now we perceive all nine elements. Now, what happens? So modal aspect and substantial aspect. What happens? Modal aspect, divisions are perceived. Indivisibility is perceived in substantial aspect. Faith mode is directed to the modal state. Faith mode is directed to the eternal true state. Nine reals are true state in modal perspective. In modal perspective, nine reals do exist. It's a true state. But when I compare through the substantial perspective, the nine reals are untrue state by making them secondary. When I'm in substantial perspective, these guys are there, but they are made secondary. And so right on this side, modal perspective, right fit does not occur. And on the substantial perspective, it generates right faith. So what's the difference between modal perspective and substantial perspective? So these are the division. The nine reals are there, but they are made secondary and thereby said that they are untrue. Untrue means they never existed, not that way. And so this is a very important thing, that we have to understand reality perspective. And then we have to decide what I want to be. If I don't understand the modal perspective to start with, and how can I understand substantial perspective? So I have to understand completely everything and then bring the faith to the eternal soul substance, and that gives the right faith. So that's why if somebody only talking about eternal soul substance, bring the faith there, everything else is negative, everything else is non-existence, modes are not there, modes are untrue state, all those things one can say, but at the time I had to have total understanding of modal perspective. And this is the really greatest gift that Gurudev has given to us, that he revolutionized the thinking about the nature of the soul, which was forever nobody understood. And there was so much weight given to the rituals and everything, not knowing why I'm doing all the things. Gurudev gave perspective that, hey, those rituals are not right. But why are they not right? Because if you talk from substantial perspective, then ritual occurring in modal perspective are not right. But that does not mean rituals do not exist. The same Gurudev who used to say that doing upvas is not right thing. Doing fasting means you are depriving food for the physical body and that's it. When he talks that one in the lectures, he used to do fasting. In the initial stages, there are three Guru Bhais were there. Gurudev and two other Munis were with him. And not a single day all three ate together. They took the food together because one is already in a upvas. So doing upvas, by knowing why I'm doing it, then to make it secondary, and then to take substantial perspective and just talk about eternal soul substance, then I have a right to talk. Otherwise, if I just simply say doing upvas is wrong because I'm eating 5 times a day, that is not true. So Gurudev followed all the rituals, but at the same time, he said that is not the religion. Rituals are there, and the religious activities are there. Puja is there, Abhishek is there, Swadhay is there. All those things are there, but they are the part of the auspicious inclination. And I want to go beyond auspicious inclination. So he continued those auspicious inclination, and he also said that beyond that there is a hidden substance hiding, and try to look for it. So that's why Gurudev gave extreme balanced views to us. He did not simply kept the things on one side, that do this only, that's it, the eternal source of everything else is wrong. He never said that. He gave proper perspective, proper weight to each and every activities occurring in the mode, and then said that is not the religion. Real religion occurs when I have my modes are in a pure form. I do purity in my mode. I do all the rituals and everything in a proper perspective and everything, and then try to look for eternal soul substance, and then those things becomes kind of secondary in nature. Eternal true nature of the self remains undivided, steady, and firm forever. Now that we have seen the nature of the 9 reals, Gurudev said, okay, you understood 9 reals, right? You understood how they are created, right? You understood what is auspicious inclination and what is the stoppage inclination, right? Now, knowing those things thoroughly, now he says, okay, now we are going for the hidden substance within those 8 and 9 reals. So what that one is? Eternal true nature of the soul, which is undivided, steady, and firm forever. In infernal existence, the living being ends up with the intense suffering in mortal state. When I'm in Narak, I'm in hell, I'm suffering, but that's a mortal state. In heavenly life, there is intense amount of material pleasure, again, modal state. Eternal state does not come in the modal form. Eternal state, I have to bring my attention to that one. सर्वकाल में त्रिकाली परमात्मा अस्खलित एक रूप है. That means this sentence has a deep meaning. सर्वकाल में त्रिकाली परमात्मा अस्खलित एक रूप है, because there is deep meaning. Why? Number one, universe is sarvakal. Sarvakal means past, present, and future. That means the universe is eternal, so are all the substances are eternal. And Trikali Paramatma. Trikali means the soul which is there forever and ever and ever. It is independent. It does not depend on any karma, fruition, etc. So it's always there. So Universe is present since time infinite. Omniscient lords are present since time infinite. Omniscient knowledge is occurring since time infinite. Still, there is no decrease in its capacity. Means this omniscient knowledge is flowing non-stop continuously from the omniscient Lord forever and ever and ever. It will go, but still that well of knowledge will never become dry. It will always remain the same way. So omniscient knowledge is occurring since time infinite. Still there is no decrease in its capacity. Even in the infernal state, he is suffering intensely. Now, mortal state we are talking, still the eternal soul substance remains in full and complete bliss. You know, at one point I read that there are lot more samyak drashti jeev in hell than even in the human being. Huh? Because they are the five sense sentient being. They are passing through suffering because mortal state of suffering they are passing through. But then because of that intense suffering, you may also bring your attention to the eternal soul substance, and there is a samyak darshan there. So this is about that sentence. What's happening at present time? There is absence of omniscient Lord among us. Okay, parents die, wealth decreases, kids fight among themselves. Our parent omniscient Lord is not present at this time. What it says over here, first one, when the parents are dead, then the wealth that they have accumulated that keeps on decreasing, and kids are fighting among themselves to get that decreased wealth and everything. Similarly, our parent, which is the omniscient Lord, is not present at this time. Then wealth of omniscient knowledge is decreasing because the last Kevli, of Mahavishami Bhagwan was the 24th Tirthankar. Thereafter, there is no other Tirthankar, and so wealth of omniscient of knowledge is decreasing. Everyone keeps on fighting. Everyone makes their own interpretation of the reality and everything, and everybody wants to have their own way. Some says with some says with auspicious inclination there is religious activity. Some says true religion is a faith in the Dev Guru Shastra, Dev Shastra and Guru, etc. Some says, in fact, there is a lack of true understanding, and that's why we have to have we have our Gurudev Sri acted as a omniscient Lord for us. He gave amazing amount of intense knowledge to make sure we understand in our own language, in our own way and everything. And he was the instrumental in that one. He, for us, he remained as an omniscient Lord in the present time. So he is giving us understanding. So my auspicious inclination gives religious activity, or the faith in the Dev Shastra Guru gives true religion. Those are the things wrong understanding. He gave us the right thing. He gave us a light, and then that light, if we don't pick it up, then it's all our fault. Not that he did not tell us all these things. He told us it's our time to do it, and we are going to make it. We are going to make it. We are going to make it. So that's already time to pass by so fast, so quick. Any questions so far? No? Yes? Okay. Then we'll just do the closing, okay? जावाणी के ज्ञान से सूझे लोकालोक, सोवाणी मस्तक नमो सदा देत हूँ ढोल. 9 times नमो का मंत्र. Jai Jinendra, thank you.
Jai
Nichandi,
Jinendra.
Nichandi.